whatever. ChatGPT doesn't even listen to this show, I bet.
Welcome back to Geek Channel 8, or GC8, as we like to call it, the podcast for movie geeks and pop culture media geeks in general. I'm Eric, and with me today is...
I'm Jason. Hi.
And I'm Laura.
All right, so we are midway through our Frankenstein series. Past midway, I think. We're into the early 2000s. We've finally hit the 21st century worth of Frankenstein films. And today we're going to be talking about another Frankenstein movie of 2004. Just like 1974 was a really big year for Frankenstein movies, 2004 was a big year for Frankenstein movies. And today it's the USA made for cable Frankenstein. But before we get to that, what have you been up to since we last talked, Jason? You got a new show?
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast with some buddies of mine called The Right Now Show. We only have one clip up right now. You can find it on Facebook. It's soon to hit a wider social media platforms as soon as I get a copy of the footage. So that's actually been pretty fun.
What is the theme or topic or whatever of this show?
It's like we do it in three parts. We do something funny, we do something that's happening right now on a little more serious note, and then some nerd stuff at the end. You know, like the video out now is one game where we had to say a word you can't say on the internet without actually saying it and make it funny. Yeah, that was pretty hard actually, because there were some words in there that doesn't really brook very well to be made fun of.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna say those on this show.
Yeah, we're not gonna say it. No, I'm not. No, that's my show, man. Don't. Yeah, that's my show, not yours. Like one segment we did, I actually talk about the first Donald Trump assassination, and I did a bunch of homework and watched a bunch of videos, and yeah, came to some weird conclusions about stuff, and you know.
So it's one of those kind of shows.
No, I don't know. It changes. It changes. You know, we pick something pretty random. We've got actually have a couple episodes in the can. Just haven't seen the light of day of it yet.
Cool. Laura, what have you been up to?
I can't say that I've been on any other podcasts, but I made a lot of crossword puzzles. And so I guess that seems pretty tame in comparison. Yeah.
Are these published crossword puzzles or just like crossword puzzles you jotted on the toilet and left them lying around randomly around the house?
For people to find.
There is actually, you can buy toilet paper with crossword puzzles on it. No, I make puzzles for a local newsletter. So they're sort of themed as to where we live in this part of the country. And then I also, for an academic conference that I'm attending virtually, they wanted people to do kind of like a maker space thing where people who make stuff sent in things to this conference so that, you know, with the idea that then they would distribute them out. So the idea is you go to a virtual conference, but you get some cool stuff in the mail that people made, like a big DIY thing. And so I made a little zine for that.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
I felt very 90s making a zine.
I know.
That's coming back. It's coming back.
I know, which was super exciting. So
you just have to find here in Northside, there's an alley with an old newspaper machine, and people put their zines in that.
Oh yeah. I've seen that also with cigarette machines, where you can put in some coins and you get a little art thing. So
that's cool.
Oh, Jason, you'll appreciate this. The zine that I made back in the day in the early 90s or something was called Hell Spawn.
Hell Spawn.
Yeah, and I took graphics from DC Comics, the Demon.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
I took that and I made posters. I put them up around campus and stuff like that, and there was Christian graffiti on them, this is you're going to hell and all of that stuff.
Nice.
And then I wrote a rebuttal to that in the zine itself, which I don't know if I can find it. I'll have to ask my co-editor Rigel if she has any copies of it. But yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, yeah. That's God's love for you, buddy.
I have been reading the book Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. V.E. Schwab is the author, and it's about 3 vampires, and it goes by their death date whenever it switches perspective. One was from the 1500s, and one was from like the 1800s, and one was from the 2019. It sort of follows their 3 stories, and the stories converge. But I'm a slow reader, and this is for a book group, so like in order to speed it up, sometimes I'd be like listening to it on audio book. What I did not know is that this is actually lesbian vampire erotica. So I'd be like in line at the pharmacy, drive through or whatever, and there's like lesbian erotica like playing out the windows of my car, and I'm like reaching for the volume real quick. That happened more than once, actually. But it was pretty good. It was a pretty good book. But yeah, it's definitely spicy in parts.
I read her a book she wrote before that called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I really enjoyed, but there was not as much lesbian erotica in it.
If you like lesbian vampire erotica, and I worked on a lesbian vampire erotica movie, so I know my lesbian vampire erotica.
So you're an expert. You're an expert then, right?
Yeah, the film, I believe Alice Cooper, the rock star, called it the Gone with the Wind of lesbian vampire erotica. Let's get down to talking about the movie today, which is not a vampire story, although it makes reference to one. We'll get to that in a second. It's actually a version of Frankenstein. It's just called Frankenstein. And it was originally developed by Dean Koontz and his collaborator, Kevin Anderson, who you might know from he wrote a lot of the Star Wars expanded, what do they call the expanded universe?
Expanded universe.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The stupid stuff.
He wrote a bunch of that.
He wrote the stupid stuff. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Anyway, this was intended to be the pilot for a television series. When USA Networks joined the project as the production company and the distributor, Koontz signed on as the screenwriter and the executive producer, and they somehow got Martin Scorsese attached to it. He was the executive producer, and then a cast was assembled. But there were creative disputes almost immediately between USA and Koontz, and eventually both Koontz and Scorsese left the project, but Scorsese was later convinced to return. Probably gave him a bunch of money. I have no idea. Anyway, Koontz and Anderson later released a book series based on the initial concept of this called Dean Koontz's Frankenstein. But he did allow USA to use the names of the characters as long as they altered the plot and removed his name from it. So I mentioned the casting. It stars Parker Posey, who was kind of the it girl in the 90s. I don't know why they chose her for a New Orleans police detective, but that's what they did. And Adam Goldberg, and those two are partnered here together again for the first time since Dazed and Confused in 1993. They must have been smoking something, right? They're police detectives on the trail of a serial killer played by Thomas Kretschmann in present-day New Orleans. And they're aided in the search by one of the killer's creations. It aired on USA Network on October 10th, 2004, which, as we said in an earlier podcast, was the same week, within a week of the Hallmark Channel airing their 2004 version of Frankenstein. Not going to do a background to the year of 2004 because we already did it. If you want to hear background to 2004, go back and listen to the last episode.
Or Google it.
Or Google it, yeah.
Just Google it, man. God.
But what we will do is, before we jump into this, we're going to go to the lobby and talk about what to pair this with.
We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
Oh, Will.
Well, it is New Orleans.
It is New Orleans.
So I would say something undead, like live oysters.
Close.
Oh, there's a right answer?
There is a right answer.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. Jason, what did you eat when you watched this?
I had a Philly cheesesteak with fries.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I guess because you could say this movie was cheesy, but that actually okay, I'm going to just come out and say it that was just coincidence that I, happened to have Philly cheesesteak from Penn Station, not even from New Orleans.
Well, you're very close. So this one's set in New Orleans, but it's not the flashy French Quarter or fancy garden district that we've seen in some of the other things set in New Orleans. This is in the grittier urban areas of New Orleans. So instead of fancy French cuisine, I went with something that is much more blue collar, the po' boy. A po' boy, of course, derived from the words poor boy with a Southern accent, right? It's a Louisiana style sandwich. Now, there's a lot of debate over the origins of po' boys, which we don't have time to get into. So we'll just say they probably started during the Great Depression. Po' boys traditionally consist of a filling of roast beef, ham, or fried seafood, such as shrimp, crawfish, fish, oysters, or crab on a New Orleans French bread roll that's cut lengthwise. But those are just some of the most common fillings. They can also contain fried catfish, Louisiana hot sausage, fried chicken, alligator, rabbit, duck, you name it, right?
Whatever anybody could catch.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever a po' boy could catch. The main thing that distinguishes them is not the filling, it's the bread. Po' boy bread is a local style of French bread that's traditionally made with less flour and more water than a French baguette to yield a sort of wetter dough that's lighter and fluffier.
Also, there's a lot of water there.
There's a lot of water.
There's a lot of water there.
The recipe was developed in the 1700s in the Gulf South area because the humid climate was not conducive to growing wheat and probably not to leavening bread that much either. If you order your po' boy dressed, which I do, a dressed po' boy has shredded lettuce, tomatoes, sliced pickles, and mayo. Cheese is also a common ingredient. So this is your New Orleans version of a Philly cheesesteak in some ways.
Nice.
I like how you closed the loop there.
If it's a fried seafood po' boy, if you order it dressed, that usually means melted butter and pickles. And if you want to add some heat to it, a Louisiana style hot sauce is optional for fried seafood po' boys, and non-seafood po' boys usually get their heat from Creole mustard. So there you go. Po' boys, that's what I recommend pairing with this po' film.
Biotechnology is a tool, nothing more.
One man's tool is another man's weapon.
Depends on the man who uses it.
I like looking nice for you.
And wash most of that off. Let your natural beauty shine through. That's why I made you.
Looks like the victim's crazier than the killer.
I can help you.
Spread your arms, on your knees.
I bow to no one.
I wasn't asking.
Your real enemy is not the killer. It's his maker. And mine too. I was his first. I was created with bodies from a prison graveyard. My life force from a thunderstorm. If you do not help me, Victor Helios will destroy mankind and populate the world with his creations.
Search the city. Spread the word among my people. If he runs, kill him.
He's armed. He's very dangerous.
I'm not the monster anymore. I'm your best hope.
God bless you, Patrick. That was a joke.
Razor blades, black rooms. Heads, you fight beside me. Tails, I fight alone.
Screw fate.
I want to please you, but sometimes I just don't know what you want.
Perfection.
Let's jump into this. It opens on a ship that's dripping water and sparks, and it's like more reminiscent of a Dracula film than a Frankenstein one.
This was not a very well maintained ship.
No, it was not.
Not very well maintained.
It was not. It has the typical Seven style opening titles, which were very popular at the time, and it has that early 2000s selective color desaturation that was also really popular at that time. This screams early 2000s from the first few minutes.
I have to be honest, like, it was really disorienting because, again, like, I was like, what mythology am I watching here? You know, it didn't hit me with those, like, this is a Frankenstein story kind of tropes.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit different. It seems like you're in for an episode of Law and Order or something. Law and Order New Orleans, or
Right. Yeah.
or CSI New Orleans.
Yeah.
There probably is one because there's so many spin-offs. I'm willing to bet there is a CSI New Orleans. Anyway, it's a police procedural, and Detective Carson O'Connor, which is played by Parker Posey, again, an interesting choice because she's so New York and so not copish.
Yeah, I have to agree. She wasn't. It was my suspension of disbelief was challenged on that one.
I also feel like Adam Goldberg, who plays her partner, like he is only capable of playing Adam Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Sloan is the name of his character. So O'Connor and Sloan, who do not look like an O'Connor and Sloan at all.
No.
They're investigating the murders of a serial killer who mutilates and removes the internal organs of the victims. All right. So we kind of have like a, I don't know, like a bargain basement Mulder and Scully, you know?
Yeah.
So this thing is obviously pre-Katrina. Like, if you've been to New Orleans since Katrina and before Katrina, you can tell the difference. And this is definitely a pre-Hurricane Katrina New Orleans. I think by only about a year. Katrina was in 2005.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it has great lines like, looks like the victim's crazier than the killer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. They meet Deucalion, who tells them that what's essentially Dr. Frankenstein. They never use the name Frankenstein that I noticed in the whole thing, but he's alive with a legion of followers using the name of Dr. Victor Helios, which is like the sun god. Why? I don't know why they chose that name.
Because they had to change it last minute after everybody left.
Could be. I don't know.
Can I make a comment here about choosing the name Deucalion? Because that's in Greek mythology, Deucalion was the son of Prometheus, and the Greek flood myth, Deucalion and his wife Pyrrha. So he's like the Noah figure, if we want to connect that to kind of the Western mythological tradition. So what is the subtitle of Frankenstein? The modern Prometheus. And so you have a character that's named after his son. He's almost like the good monster in this. because he kind of becomes their guide to
Yeah.
like what's
Right.
going on. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, but why Helios? Okay, I get the Deucalion thing, the connection to Prometheus, but why Helios?
Why is he named Helios?
Yeah, Dr. Victor Helios. That's the pseudonym that Frankenstein is operating
Right.
under.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have some idea, Eric? Are you going to tell us?
No, I have
You-
no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, lazy writing? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
They- didn't you say that Dean Koontz pulled out
he did.
and then he came back, but they kept the names of the characters the same, but they changed the plot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the character name would have been the same as what
Yeah.
Koontz came up with. So
You're
I
gonna
don't
have to
know.
ask Dean.
Well, if we ever have him on the show,
Okay.
we'll have to remember to ask him
Yeah.
why Helios.
Why Helios, bro?
One thing I cannot fault this for is the acting. The acting's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got some good lines. Like there's one point where there is a bride in this one, and he says, "That's why I made you." And then there's this pause, "My wife," right? Because he literally made her, as we will find out later.
Yeah. What I thought that was great is that like it was like there was like a first draft and like a second draft.
Right. Yeah.
This has a lot of parallels to Dracula 2000, which I mentioned earlier. It's like set in New Orleans. Dr. Helios has sustained himself and this creature over centuries with genetic experimentation. And in Dracula 2000, Van Helsing has sustained himself on blood drawn from Dracula's blood, which he injects in himself. So there's this immortality thing going on with both of them. And there's the location going on with both of them. And there's some other things that are similar between the two. They only came out a few years apart, so I wondered if maybe there might be some connection there, but I wasn't able to find anything. There is another reference to Dracula in this, which is the bad guy is named Jonathan Harker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why,
yes.
I don't know, but it's a name they lifted straight from Dracula.
Oh, Dean, you continue to confound us.
All right, that is question number 2 for Dean Koontz. Dean, if you are listening to this podcast, write in and tell us why you chose Jonathan Harker as the name of the bad guy, because he's the good guy in Dracula. You know. Also, another thing, this is something it has in common with Hallmark's. Probably the only thing it has in common with Hallmark's Frankenstein. Again, we have a Frankenstein monster that doesn't look very monstrous. Like, I totally would not be scared of it. It's like a dude. You know, another.
Yeah.
He's like an emo guy.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
an emo guy.
I seen 2 of you dudes down at the club last night. Whatever.
We eventually get to the big reveal. Spoiler alert. Skip ahead if you don't want to know this, but we have the what I call the stuck in the middle moment. If you remember the stuck in the middle moment in Reservoir Dogs, where Michael Madsen goes
Yeah.
total psycho, like you think he's the least crazy of the jewelry, reservoir robbers.
Yeah.
But
No.
no, he's actually the psycho.
He's the craziest one.
He's the craziest one. And,
Can I actually say on that, my husband actually walked in the room while I was watching and he's like, wait, are you watching Reservoir Dogs? What is this?
So Michael Madsen turns out to be a bad guy. Big surprise, right?
Ugh.
And they ask, why isn't he's Harker. Why isn't he doing normal killings? And they're talking to someone and they tell him, I told him to follow his bliss. I didn't know his bliss was ripping people's guts out.
I kind of want to forget I even watched that movie.
Can we just go back to my cheesesteak? It was pretty fucking good.
All right, guys.
Can I tell you, I actually texted Eric and I said, that's 2 hours that I will not get back. And even though it wasn't even 2 hours, it was only
It felt like it though,
88
didn't it?
minutes.
It felt like 2 hours, didn't it?
It sure did.
I think you guys are being overly harsh because although I didn't think it was great and I didn't really particularly enjoy it that much, And it's nothing like the book. It is an interesting take on the legend. Like,
Sure.
they found an interesting take on it. The acting was good. There was no time where I was like, the acting was bad.
Right.
They didn't really know where they were going with this. Like a lot of TV shows, it's like, we're going to set this up, but we don't know where it's going to go.
Well, also, it was supposed to be a pilot for a TV show, which never materialized, right?
Correct.
So
that I didn't know.
We're only getting.
So it'd be like Parker Posey solves, like, it would be like an X-Files, essentially.
Yeah, like, Parker Posey, the other guy that's the two-dimensional guy that just plays himself in every movie, and then this
Adam Goldberg.
Adam Goldberg, and then this Frankenstein dude are rolling around.
Frankenstein be the sidekick,
Yeah, and they're just rolling around New Orleans solving crimes, solving Frankenstein murders. They definitely set little things up that were probably going to be explained later. Like, for instance, the scene where Dr. Helios and the bride are hanging out in bed, and she's like, I just want to be perfect for you, blah, blah. And, like, she's draping her fingers down his back, and his spine is basically exposed.
Yeah.
What's that about? I don't know. They'll cover it later, I'm assuming. But, the TV show that never materialized, as I said. So we get a lot of unanswered.
I think Battlestar Galactica ripped off that spine thing.
Maybe, the
dinner party scene, and there's like the priest.
Yes.
And then, like, when it becomes clear that he made everybody and he has this dinner party scene to, like, kind of keep an eye on that's how I was reading it, that it was like the dinner party scene was sort of like to keep an eye on everyone he made and to kind of make sure they're, like, doing the things he wants them to do. Some of his creations, they look like sort of as monstrous as this movie wanted them to look, and some of them look completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't understand that, except that it was a motivation to kind of infiltrate sort of different areas of culture, like the priest, for instance.
Sure. One was a cop,
Yeah, and one was a cop.
I think maybe that has something to do with what they were planning to do with the series. Like,
right.
Yeah.
One masterful stroke to put everybody that he had made into power, so he could run things and make the perfect race.
The book versions of this that Dean Koontz released, it's a 5-book saga that began as 2 trilogies, but he completed it in 5 books instead of 6. There was probably a lot of material they were planning on getting into later on. But yeah, if you're a fan of the book series, write in and let us know how different or similar it is. Because I got to say, the concept was cool. The execution sucked.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, it had all the right stuff, mostly,
I think if Koontz hadn't quit and Scorsese hadn't quit and then came back at the last minute or whatever, if they had like them the whole time, I think things would have been better.
Oh, yeah. It probably would have been really cool,
Dean Koontz gets a bad rap. I've read a couple of his books and I love them. So I like Dean Koontz's stuff. My favorite book by him is Dark Rivers of the Heart. But yeah, this film could have been so much more. The weird thing about it is the Hallmark one that we watched is the better film, but people often confuse that with this one, which may be why that other one isn't watched that much, because a
lot of more people watch USA than the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, Frankenstein from 2004. Oh, this was the awful thing that was in New Orleans and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to belabor the point. I think we're all in agreement that it's a thumbs down, although I will say a reserved thumbs down because we've had ones that are way worse than this. I'd say it's worth watching, but like, just throw it on while you're doing laundry or something like that to see like to see Parker Posey, to see Michael Madsen as like a crazy dude, to see those little good parts of it. And you don't have to pay attention really because it's not going to make sense anyway. So
kind of did.
I would say of the 3 films that I've watched for this podcast, this is definitely the worst.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Two of the 3 that you saw were just 2 parts of one. But
yeah.
I'm mad at Will. Will wasn't here because this is mine and Will's fault, and I'm just gonna go ahead and accept the blame.
So I did not want to watch this film
I know.
or the
I know
next
you
one
didn't
that we
want
did.
to.
I only did this because you and Will insisted we do it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
This is my fault. Will's
But
not here to take
you
the
are
blame.
correct. Your logic was sound that we couldn't actually omit it if we wanted. I mean, it was a Scorsese Frankenstein,
right?
you know.
Dean Koontz, Scorsese, come on.
It's significant enough that it warranted an investigation. We have investigated this crime and we have decided not to press charges, but it's got to be on its best behavior next time. All right. Go ahead and plug your show again before we go off the air here.
I'm Jason with the Right Now Show. You can find us right now on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm waiting for more material to come out, but it's happening. We're not a movie podcast, so you can watch me, and it's not a conflict of interest.
Oh, can we have the whole cast on sometime?
If you want. I do intend to have.
We can do a swap. I'll come on your guys' show. You guys come.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna do. They wanted to do a movie review too, but one as dressed as Kimbo Slice and the other Randy Macho Man Savage, and they're both as ghosts.
Okay.
Because both of those guys are dead, and
right.
I don't know why they wanted to do it, but they seemed really intent on doing it, so I get to pick the movie. So we're gonna.
Is it gonna be a Macho Man Savage film? I don't know. Did he have a lot of film roles?
I don't think he did. He was in Spider-Man. If anything, he had cameos and stuff.
Was he in Spider-Man?
Yeah, that first
Which one?
Bonesaw. Yeah, the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With, what's his name?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Yeah. He's the wrestler that he goes up against when he gets the powers in the movie. Bruce Campbell's there. He's the announcer. He's like, "What's your name, kid?" And
That's
he's
right.
Like,
That's
Man
right.
Spider. He's like, "Man Spider? That's a terrible name."
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I feel like that's like a Stan Lee-ism. Like Steve Ditko came in and said, "I got Man Spider for you," and he's like, "No. We're gonna."
That's a terrible name.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, he goes up against Randy Macho Man Savage in the wrestling ring.
And then I think that in the sequel where he goes up against Dr. Octopus, and you have J. Jonah Jameson saying, like, coining the phrase like, "Oh, Doc Ock," and stuff like that.
Right.
I feel like that was again channeling Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we're just gonna take this actual thing Stan Lee said and put it in the mouth of Bruce Campbell, or
Yeah. The Right Now Show. Thanks.
Cool. Check it out, guys. Laura, you got anything you want to plug? A crossword puzzle or something?
Yeah, I mean, if people want to solve my puzzles, maybe you could put a link in the show notes instead of me reading a URL out to you.
Okay. We never do show notes, but yes, we'll do that.
Okay.
Someday.
Help her out, Eric. Come on, man.
If you like the show, like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever platform you're getting it on, click all the buttons, click the notifications, all those things, click them all. But more important than all the clicking and all of that is just like, tell a friend. Like last year I said, tell 2 people. This year I'm saying, tell 3 people.
3 people.
3 people. Tell 3 people.
Emotionally blackmail your friends into listening to this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we do it so we need the listens, because we don't even listen to this. Every time I ask like Rosie or Jason is like, I don't want to listen to myself, so like
I have been trying to listen to it because, I don't want to sound like a dink or anything, so.
I told 3 friends and they were all very happy that the episodes averaged just under an hour, because I think they're all very frustrated with podcasts that go on for like 2 hours.
Yeah, no,
and they said they deeply appreciated only having to listen to me and people for, under an hour.
Well, that's good. That's
you
good.
can take that a bunch of different ways.
Yep.
I feel like, I mean, well, at least our show feels like it's less than an hour, unlike the movie we watched, which felt like it was 2 hours.
Yeah, I would have to say that.
An ice age had come and gone, and this movie was still on my TV.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, I'm going to say this is Eric.
I'm Jason.
This is Laura.
Signing off.
I don't know.
And you're Jason.
I'm Jason. Hi, I'm Jason. Bye, I'm Jason.